Hi, my name is Maria, and my guest is George for tonight. And our subject will be an American and Filipino couple talk about what dating across culture is actually like. So tell him how we met, George.
Okay, I want y'all to understand something. I have to get in here and it feels like I have to run the conversations. The reason is they're not like us, okay? They're not nearly as outspoken as us. So it's drawing information out. But that being said, this is what we've seen and what I've experienced as a cross cultural relationship. And I can see why it's so difficult. That being said, the way I met her was actually I was intending on going home and to make it a little bit shorter. I actually met her. She worked at Domino's Pizza. And I came in, obviously she offered, I got ready to get the combo. She offered a little like this thing where they would give away free cinnamon rolls. And so that's how we actually initially met. And so obviously Domino's Pizza is probably one of the closest versions of American Domino's Pizza that there was. So that's the reason I kept going back there. And that was my initial contact with her. Um, now, why we decided to share this experience, go ahead and tell me about your version of how we met and what you thought about it so that you get both sides of our experience.
He was a customer in Domino's Pizza. Keeps
It
coming
looked like an
back.
ATM.
It looked like a ATM with no cash in it.
At that point, I didn't have no cash. And that
Um,
was because the other person that met before her had already made a massive withdrawal against my will. But yeah,
yeah, it just kept coming back. I guess that was for the pizza. Um, Impression was an American, absolutely. Some people will, because they don't really know how to identify which country they're from, they'll guess he's from Australia, he's from
oh yeah, I look like
um
I'm from Australia, don't I? Hell, that'd have been my first guess. Open my mouth. Oh yeah, he's Australian. Shit, he's a British.
yeah,
If I sound like any of them folks are my brothers or my sisters that I fell off the train, off of some wagon or off some boat.
because some of them don't really know the differences, right? But obviously, my impression was absolutely American, and the craziness is unique. My managers will be like, Maria, come out here. George is back. He keeps coming back, blah, blah, blah. Because only I can somehow understand him. So it's Maria. But why we decided to share our experience. So,
I ain't got nothing better to do.
but eat M&Ms.
Hey, that's only I hate M&Ms. I really do. I hate this thing. But you know what? You're limited on what you get here, boy. But you can't beggars can't be choosers up in this mother. But yeah,
So I guess we're sharing the experience because he's an American and I'm Filipina. And I think
I
it's
know what Ham.
because,
She's guessing.
and I think this is because he just recently saw the Big Ted or Big Ed.
Big Ed. Oh my God. Props out to Big Ed. You you ain't redneck.
You
You ain't
rock.
even white trash. But you're from the United States. You no neck short, brother. You're something else, brother. I think I want your signature,
I think Big Ed is pretty cool. He's easy, you know.
Big Ed. Oh my God, I'm telling you, y'all, I'm Big Ed. I have no idea what to think about that boy.
He's pumping me with sugar because we're tired.
Everything I see on that board, like on the reels and the little things, I have to watch. Like, what's this retard done? I'm telling you, dude, he's something else. He's like 53 at that time,
Oh no, but that
and
was like
every
two
damn
years
relationship
ago
he
video.
has, he needs a duct tape, handcuffs, taser. He could straighten
I was
those
like Big
relationships
Ed.
out.
I had been watching Big Ed even before I met him. He was cool.
I
He was
never seen
funny.
that guy until maybe what? How many weeks ago? And I was like, "Who in
It
the
was
hell
about
is this?"
last week.
It was called 90 Day Fiance.
Mm.
I don't watch nothing because we're always working. Because we're truck driver nation. We do freight dispatching. We train people how to freight dispatch. Even expats, they get here, they think they're ready to work, like they got this new life. They come here on this Social Security and stuff, and they think they're going to make it. But you ain't gonna live nowhere close to what you think you're gonna live with it because you watch some dumbass YouTube video that says, "Oh, I'm gonna go there and live for $600 a month." Yeah, you're gonna survive at $600 a month. Me, I'm not that stupid. I'm real realistic about what it takes for me to live. And anyways, so we end up actually training them to become freight dispatchers so they can work from home. And the lucky deal about me, when we met, that may be one of the factors that bonded us because she took a big interest in learning logistics. And but overall, our relationship itself was independent of that. And we've obviously been together for a while now. But she's the one that coughed up Big Ed. Big Ed. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so you can see what it actually is. You'll find us arguing in this camera, all that crap. But so I think the reason we're sharing this is because
I would
not
never tell my wife that her breath smells like the ass of a gopher snake. Would I, baby? You know what I mean? And she was like, "Oh, I get offended by my breath. What is your breath, your ass? You need to differentiate the smell of those two so I can figure out which one's which. So I'm not kissing the wrong end."
That's why when he was going to Domino's, my managers are like, Maria, come out here. George is there again talking. That's how he talks, and nobody could
Nah,
understand.
the hell with that. My people know. Word out to the south.
Uh-huh. But don't just take it from us. People have different ways of handling their relationship.
What is the next one? What people think cross cultural relationships are like versus reality. I'm gonna tell you what, if they don't speak the language, you're not gonna stand a chance. She spoke English. Now, yes, she still messes it up some, but I'm from the South. Hell, we made it up, you know what I mean? So that being said, she's definitely learned a lot of terms. She learns a big word and she tries to throw it in there, try to throw me off, but she don't realize I got my GED from the third grade. I know what I'm talking. Like if people think they're slick. Mm. But what do you think, baby?
I was already collecting vocabulary words back in elementary.
See, she thinks she's better than me because she completed elementary too. I don't appreciate that crap.
But I don't really think about what other people think. They have
Hold up. You
story.
ain't got to do the last part. What's that first part?
What?
I don't really think.
Yeah.
Okay, just stick with that. You ain't got to throw the extra part on there.
I don't think, I don't care about what other people think.
Now she's an American. Bam.
No, because it don't really help. And they don't even think about themselves how to improve their own life. So what's in it for me? Don't benefit me. You don't know how we work together, how we have to adjust about different stuff.
Immigration officers, you can thank me for that. Okay? I brought her up to speed on the culture. Did I do a good job or what? But
And the reality.
But she's the reality. She understands her importance, and that's good. She understands her qualities as a person, as an individual, the ability to think independently, and that's one of the great qualities that I appreciate in her. So make sure when you're meeting somebody, don't just because your brain is locked into this vanity deal. I came here, actually coming here to find somebody because I don't want to be polluted like the women in the United States. I'm not hating on the women in the United States. They're just not my speed. If they wasn't raised pulling on cow titties as a child and working out there in the fields, running the riverbanks, and don't understand what it is to be a country girl, you got to go somewhere where some of the country still exists. And this is one of the few places that I've been to when I was in the military that I came back to.
Thing is, I never pulled titties. I'm not from the country.
You liar. You have pulled my titties so many times. What is wrong with you? This ain't a lying session. So, anyways, she never, like I tell everybody, my first girlfriend had 4 titties. So, and actually, her name was Pearl. That was the family milk cow. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
His mother can testify on that.
Not under oath. She can just say she was a witness. Yeah. But that being said, being raised in the country builds a different type of personality, work ethic, those type of factors. Because in the country, you have to work. I got 4 brothers, and all of us, 5 boys all together.
All alpha.
My mom was a nurse. Dad was, he ex-military and all that good stuff. That being said, that work ethic was driven into you. It's not a choice. You're forced to actually work, or you will have problems with inside the family. Because why should everybody else pull your load? But that being said, she was a city cat. She's a house cat. She's tell them about where you was raised and all that.
So I was born.
She was born. She wasn't hatched. So she was actually born. She was a live birth.
Obviously, I'm Filipina. I was born in Luzon. So we have Luzon, Visayas,
She's not
Mindanao.
Filipino. The Spanish were here for 300 years.
Oh yeah. So I'm not 110% Filipino because
She's whatever was left over in the chicken egg.
yeah, because I think my it's my mother's side from Spanish Inquisition. Even my name is Maria,
Esperanza.
Maria Esperanza. So going back, um, what do we have? First impressions. First impression was American, power, aggression, war,
Oh my gosh.
crazy.
And all I was thinking about, did I brush my teeth?
When I say crazy, it's like liberated, freedom.
Thing is, I wasn't, when I first met her, I'd given up. I was getting ready to come home. So, I met somebody here. They were poison, dirty individual. Okay. There's some scumbags here. Okay. They're never going to appreciate you because what we are is something that they assume that we've always been. And they don't understand freedom is actually a path of blood. Okay. And if their people do not understand how to spill blood on the level that we're willing to do because of our belief system, not the political agendas of these organizations that run our country, because we as individual citizens in each of our states, that government is not who we are as an Americans. A lot of people misunderstand that. They think, for example, like right now, Donald Trump. Do I support what people are doing? And I don't even know these people. Okay. I've never been on the fishing bank with nobody of these boys. I've never been deer hunting with none of these boys. I don't know them. So for you to say, hey, will you vote for me? Jack, brother, I'm sorry. I can't go down that path with you. I'm not going to sit here and say what you are and what you're not, because I know what you've probably been. You're as guilty as the rest of us for what we do, and what you probably did the same thing. So don't come and be all, holier than holy or more righteous, or the law, all based on interpretation. Okay. So that being said, a lot of the persona that people perceive us coming from the United States is totally out of spectrum of what we are as individuals based on the culture, even though our culture is very diversified because we are a melting pot, even though people segregate into races and cultures and all the other factors that they use to keep us separate, because the people aren't free. The propaganda got them. So for people like me, that I allowed myself to understand something wasn't right in everything I'm seeing, and to be able to start addressing that in my life, and the creator to actually lead me down these paths. I could see clearly enough on what I believe and what I feel is truthful in my heart. And I'm not going to get off on that path to you because that's not what you're here for. But that being said, that's not what I see when I get the reflection back of myself from the people that are seeing. Oh, they see you as an end to a means, and not just a long-term means, even a short-term means of just gathering whatever they can to put something in their pocket that's so temporary that there's no explanation. Me meeting Maria, I'm not downplaying her, but she had a devastating life. Okay, I'm not joking. I don't blab it with her. I don't use it against her. I don't say I'm whatever, whatever. I'm just a person. But that being said, she walked one hell of a path. I don't know if I'd have been able to take it, because I had both my parents there. I had the stability of an actual generation after generation family there. Did everybody get along? Hell no. You put a bunch of rednecks in the room and don't think the police are not going to show up, right? But that being said, I feel for her. There's some things that I've noticed about the culture and things that I don't want to pull you off into, but you better be prepared to understand the background, the backdrop, the scenery that they've lived with day in and day out that builds that characteristics that maybe they become numb to. But when you're coming to a table like what we have in front of us in the United States, it's something that's just barely out of grasp, because as an American, you got every opportunity to make something out of nothing. But it depends on who your mentors were in your life, depends on what you're going to do with that. Okay. And that's not philosophical. That is literally what I've lived in my path in my life. So when I met her, was I skeptical? Hey, it's just another young girl. She probably wants to spend time with me and all that stuff. But we had some real heart to hearts because I was already in a pissed off mood, ready to go home. And I was like, if you walk out of here or you go hang out with me, the three things I'm looking for somebody to take care of me, because I'm going to take care of you. I'm looking for somebody that never, ever, ever lies to me. I don't care if I don't like what you said. Don't ever lie to me. And the third thing is that you never leave. Period. If you can't do that, turn around, go back to where you came from. Let me be, because my path, I've already went through a bunch of crap. That did I bring it on myself? There's no way I can't say I did or didn't, because I even when you're looking at things in hindsight, you kind of always want to justify that you did or you didn't. I can't really play that one out in my mind clear enough, because it all became so vague, because it came so convoluted to the situations that people were pulling me into. You got to keep your guard up when you leave the country and you come here, and feed everybody with a long handled spoon. Don't let nobody get close to you. It's just the way it is. And I'm gonna leave it at that. That's your best asset. But that being said, when I met her though, it took us some time. There's always that growing point, but we've been together just over 3 years, if I'm right. Is that right?
Mhm.
And now our relationship is solidified, so we're solid with each other. She don't have no reason to leave me except every 30 minutes. And as far as me, I'm okay with her, as long as she stands her place. My whole question to her: do you just want to spend the rest of your life with me instead of bouncing like a basketball? I want somebody to run around with, that enjoy the experiences that I have, and I've always had in the United States: running the mountains, climbing mountains, rock crawling, all the things I enjoy, hitting the rivers, digging for gold. Um, what else do I do? Deer hunt, fish, all the adventures that my dad taught us, the experiences that we have. Living in the country, getting about 100 acres, putting horses, and you got everything on there. That's what I can. It's not what I promise you. It's literally my life. You don't promise somebody that something you can't, because that's like naturally who I am. And to travel the United States, because we got to be there for 2 years. So she said yes. I've got to believe her. She knows if she lies to me, I'm gonna be one really pissed off. And if this ain't CSI, what's that called? Hold up. He said, alien resident. This is not Law and Order
Law and order.
Special Victims Unit. So this ain't Law and Order Special Victims Unit. You know what I mean? You gave me your word, so I'm holding you to it, that you feel this, because right now is the best time for you to cut me loose and to stay here. And we talk about it a lot, and because it's not probably out of insecurity, because I've been bit so many times. You kick a dog enough, whatever, it's going to eventually turn around and bite the hell out of you. So that being said, she's legitimately stared at me, looked in my eyes, and said, yes, this is what she wants. And even to the very second that we live and breathe right now, she's more than capable to walk away from the relationship. But she's happy with me, and she takes a lot of medications to make sure she stays happy, and I'm happy with her. The jokes go right over
The
her head.
end.
Don't expect them to get the jokes. It ain't going to
I get
happen.
it, babe. I'm just exhausted.
But she's always got a complaint. She's exhausted. In the United States, everybody knows that we don't deal with exhaustion. She even looking at her watch. Okay,
It's 12:21 in
who
the AM.
cares? Who cares?
Go back to the subject.
Okay, what subject? It was me, about me, me, me.
See,
But anyways, um, go ahead, baby. Pick up now. You pick up to where I ended, right there on that same one. So it was like, what?
we didn't make any progress.
Okay, so let's
We
pick
were,
up where we're at.
we are back to, well, let's move on to cultural differences we noticed immediately.
No personality that stood out immediately. Jokes, it takes her a while to get them. Sometimes it might be days, and all of a sudden she'll get it. I'm not mad about that. My deal with her is to be able to read her. The way that they present themselves, this introvert bullshit. Um, you can't be an introvert and hang out with me. That just ain't gonna happen. So now she keeps me in fights, because she'll start some shit, and then I got to come in after the fact. Like, what? Literally, take her. She'll get you killed over some mangoes. Okay. They pulled a razor on me. I wasn't doing nothing but listen to music. Next thing I know, I'm like, why's this cat pulling a razor on me? Am I going to kill this little young boy? And so I got the razor from him and threw it on top of the building. But I'm going to let her take over so she can show you. And you got to be careful about this stuff. If it happened to me, it could sure happen to you. Go ahead, babe.
That's miscommunication, and I don't even know how that started. Only that I guess the boy was intimidated by him being big guy because he said your husband is tall and big. He wasn't
No,
even doing nothing.
They're giving the full picture. She don't paint pictures correctly. I was not standing nowhere around them.
Baby, the way you say the words, the sequence of the words are different the way I say it.
Okay, you're sorry. Oh, now
So he
you
wants
corrected me on video, marking her territory.
he wants me to say it all in sequence, I guess. So I
Oh,
was
I
buying
just
bananas.
detail. Sorry.
He was playing with his speaker, and I was dealing with a bunch of crap, right, in public market. And I was glad he was playing with his new speaker and still turned out a crap. So that boy was a scammer. Basically, even the cop officer or the police officer said, "Oh, that's a scam, sir, because the mango has fixed price." All that crap. So I went to the cashier and the price of two different fruits were different prices. So I confronted the guy or the boy. I said, the prices of these fruits you gave me was lower than how much I'm supposed to pay at the front. He already weighed the things that I purchased. And the reason why I'm saying or I'm accusing them of scam is because that's what they do at the public market. They put people at the very front, like the frontliners, as a bait. You know, they give you the lowest price they could give you, somehow still believable, until you get into the counter waiting in line and it's your turn and it's not even the price, you know. So later on, I didn't even know he already pulled a what you call that, a
Bait
cutter,
switch.
a cutter. We were already leaving, and then he turned his back for whatever reason, and then he saw the guy that had the cutter in his hand, and he didn't have it because I saw both his hands when he was weighing the fruits. So I said, "Why would you have to pull the cutter?" He's and it wasn't about anything else because why else would he say that your husband is tall and big, you know? It's not his fault that he's that healthy.
And not even talking to nobody.
And
Sitting
wasn't
there
even
jamming out some
he
old
wasn't
school rock,
even
literally.
engaging, you know. I think he was just intimidated. A lot of people gets intimidated because of his posture and the aggression, even though that's just a lot of Americans are naturally aggressive, you know, and a lot of people don't even
We'll
know
clear
about
around a
that.
dozen pink flowers. How much everybody knows I'm not being aggressive.
But
I'm just being me, just standing there, listening to music, observing the surroundings.
cultural differences for us, um, I don't know. I didn't really see any differences for us, I guess, aside from the food, because I'm used to the food we have. This is my taste buds, but if it brings me to different dish that he eats, I don't have problem with that.
Don't you? She's got to tell you the truth. Dried fish and rice. Do you call that a cultural
I'm
difference
talking
or
about me,
life-threatening episode?
but me,
You ever
that's
smell chitlins, pig guts being cooked by your granddaddy or whoever? How bad it smells? That your grandmother makes them cook them out in the yard. Take that times 10.
that's George. I'm
That's how
talking
bad.
about me. So he brings
That
me to
is?
whatever
Oh,
dish.
oh, they gotta know. They don't want them to think I'm a horrible
I'm
person.
not on your side yet.
Yes,
I'm
we
not
are.
talking about you
Visit
yet.
with me. There you go. I'll cut you some fresh fruit.
Talk because he loves it with Sean.
What happened? That ain't junk. That's got vitamin C in it. Chocolate.
But with George, obviously there'll be a lot of differences for him to our culture. First, the food, the environment, and I think everything. Activities, there's no activity here, the transportation, the standard of everything. But when it comes to both of us, to me, or for me,
There's no camper trailers. There's no ATVs, no four wheelers. There's no outback terrain that's like Bureau of Land Management free lands to run. There's none of
and
that.
our governments here don't really work the way it's supposed to work, like the transportation, Department of Health, all that sort of crap don't really exist here.
To me, it feels like one step from being in solitary confinement. And if it wasn't for me loving her so much, waiting on this visa, I'd already be. I miss home so much. Oh my gosh, y'all! For y'all that are not out in the woods today, need to get out there. Enjoy
So
it.
if you're on a K1 visa, it is required for you to have met or be with that Filipino or Filipina, but I don't think you can stay here for that long.
It takes a lot out of you. You mean it's because I really care about her that much. She got me. She knows she's got me, but it's rough.
So I think that's the culture. To me, I'm like, there's really not much of difference for me because my reason is we've been colonized by Americans. I can somehow communicate and understand and sympathize with their or with your um urgency, with the frustration, how exhausting things here are like, and that's why I'm a house cat because I know it myself. But moving on to the next, what surprised us most?
Me
Nothing
going to
really.
jail, that pretty much what damn well got it. Yeah, that one got me there. I ended up in jail for 3 damn months, not because of her, but yeah, you better watch your ass. I'm being straight with you. These people can make any accusations against you, and then you're wrapped up. And I did make friends with local police officers, some of them, and stuff like that. But she's been the number one thing to keep me out of everything. She pulls on me, drags on me, keeps me out of trouble. Yeah.
Expectation versus reality. Expectations Americans may have about Filipinos, expectations Filipinos may have about Americans, and social media myths versus actual daily life. So George's expectation here is down to no I mean, he's always have expectation. That's why I always say lower your expectation or drop the expectation because he always have expectation. Even
Drop the expectation. She purchases it to me, and it's just drop the expectation. Whatever you manage to get out of that given situation, that's probably you got. That is the gravy on the biscuit. That's
like
probably as
just
good as it's
totally
gonna
drop it to nothing.
get.
Because if you leave point one there, it's still another disappointment, which will cause your exhaustion.
Yeah.
To me, expectations about Americans, um, excellence.
That
Um,
makes me a bad person, don't it?
um, no, they always, to me, my expectations about Americans, they always expect that, your performance are excellent. Again, they always have expectation.
We do outsourcing and we do VAs and we use them in our industry. I quit all that. I've just found that it's better for me to let her handle it. She's great at it. I mean, absolutely amazing at it. She takes so much stress off of me because of her skill set, her ability to do that. And I'm the companies and the people that I work with, they don't give a rat's ass about your excuses, your intentions. They want performance, they want results, and they want to see that show up in numbers. And so that's the reason she's been a blessing for me. So those expectations that you have in you, that drive that you have in you, I know it's there. You know it's there. And yes, we have lazy Americans. We all know that as well. Every culture does. But just be advised, if you're an alpha, just bring it. That's easier said than done. I hate to even say it, but just know that you're not going to see the qualities that you, with the people that you surround yourself with in the United States, really be here. Okay, so it's just the way it is.
High standards, and excuses not accepted. That's why even when somebody's working with me or for me and I'm giving them instruction and they're being resistant, it's really exhausting because they've never been to our situation where you have to do a lot of things. They think they're doing a lot now. That's what they think. They're doing
They
a
really
lot
convince
now.
themselves. They
Yeah.
would try to pitch every little detail that is their normal requirement of performance standards and think that they just changed the gate key to heaven.
And that's very unfortunate because whatever situation you give them or scenario, they will never understand unless they've been there.
She was with me when I came out of jail, and I had lost everybody because I was doing truck driver recruiting.
And everything.
Yeah, and so for one, I'd offered her. I said, look, I wasn't even trying to be in a relationship with her. I was just wanting to go home. And I told her, I said, look, you can make 3,000 or whatever can make a week doing this. I was like, it's a good opportunity. Instead of you making pesos, how much were you making a month?
Oh, that was Domino's. That was like maybe 15,000.
So maybe around $300 a month. It's actually less than that. So I was like, oh my gosh, you can do, about two, 3,000 in a week.
He
And
was convinced I can do it because I was actually communicating with him. He said, "Your
yeah,
English is
she's
good."
a
Blah
little
blah
worker
blah.
bee now. She was a real little worker bee in that damn Domino's. Ring, 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 ring. And I was like, man, no. And I was like, you could do so much better for yourself. And of course, she thought I was a compulsive liar. And I was like, well,
Right?
the hell we then stay starving. You know what I mean? And
He
but
kept coming back anyway.
yeah, but
Kept coming back, always recruiting. I want you to work with me. I want you to work for me. You can communicate with me,
yeah,
so you can communicate with the others. Because literally in our store, I was the only one talking to him. Even our store manager couldn't even understand what he was saying.
yeah. So and she took a chance for herself. You know what I mean? I didn't have nothing to benefit out of it, but I did benefit out of it a lot. But thing is, she took it, and I got to give her, even when she doubted it, and I did. Of course, she didn't confess her sins to me immediately, but that being said, she can tell you about her first transaction, and obviously what she went through. But yeah,
Yeah, so since then, his expectation had always been higher. But what I'm trying to say then to the employees that are working with me or for us, you've never been to our situation where we actually was working 24 by 7.
yeah.
Whether we were sick, whether we were exhausted, passing out.
I guess she wants me to give her a star.
No, like seriously.
Yeah, look, in the United States, we don't care. Okay, you do it till you get the job done.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to be in logistics, we're not like everybody else.
And it ain't just in logistics, whatever line of business you are in.
Yeah, but they don't work nearly as hard as us because we have to answer the phone call. Even if your heart's into it, you're going to do it. But she did it. She took the challenge and she pushed with me as I was recovering, and she understood and she took it. And I got nothing but love for her for that because I took it for granted. Because in the United States, people in logistics, they understand that's what it takes. Yes, there's some sorry ass people out there, and they're there even in logistics. But um, I don't care what happens. Even the business we built, if something happens to me, they go to her.
Now
I
a lot
know she'll take care of it. She understands and appreciates what we built.
Oh yeah. A lot of Americans or Western natives have dropped their expectations because their spouse is, college undergrad, they know nothing, so the expectation isn't there anymore. But sometimes we have a meeting, he will say, I have the only person in this meeting that I have expectation is my wife. I always expect better out of her, whatever, whatever, right? And it's not a bad thing that your spouse have expectation. It pushes you to the limit, makes your life better, and later on you'll realize you can actually do something better than you think you can.
But don't push them out of the nest so damn fast that they don't have their wing feathers. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
going to smack the concrete and the cat's going to get them. But that being said,
I just did.
yeah, she did. She did. But the thing is, I've learned to back off and let her grow. And I let her grow organically. Now that she's got it, and I know she actually catches me on stuff. Yeah, she has to push harder because I'm always convinced that my perfection is, as you get older, it starts to slip some, I feel. But I'm always perfection. Oh, and I can never get nothing done correctly. I always find faults in my work. So, but she actually points them out because I get to moving too fast because I've also want to produce fast too. I know you got to manage that balance between, running the business and growing the business and all these other factors, but she's been a blessing to me in that. And I do learn to slow down and listen to her. And the more that she catches me on, it makes me want to listen more because I know she's just not rattling. And so that's been a great for me.
So I wish we get an employee that are not just resistant, that are not just focused on problems. Because even though I don't say it, we have expectations.
Yeah.
Without expectations, you may as well just work in a public market. There, nobody will expect you nothing.
Oh, yeah. You want to put me in a public market. Like I tell people, you don't even want me eating in your damn restaurant. You really want to get me fed and get me out of there.
Yeah.
I'm better off in the middle of a field with a mean ass brown bear and a moose and an elk and an eagle and it's snowing its ass off. You know what I mean? I'm born for the woods. That's the truth of it. But while I'm doing this, this allows me to work from home. We've been able to go to some great places. I say great places. We've been to some places, Hong Kong, China, all these other places, but
Outside the Philippines.
yeah, outside the Philippines. But when we get home, now I can go sit with her up in the mountains and let it snow. We got a hot tub, sit there and do our job, get out, walk around, move around, go travel the mountains. I could really enjoy nature, go trout fishing, all these things that I enjoy and still be able to use. Now we got, you got Iridium, but now you got Starlink and all these other different factors that definitely play into the ability to move around. And she is comfortable. It doesn't matter if we're living in a tool shed. She would be okay with it. Ain't that something? I want to know one American woman that I would meet that would be like that. Okay. And that is what makes the difference. It's somebody that appreciates what she's helped build herself. It's not a matter of what I give her. I can't give her what she is because she's already like that. Okay. What we build around us is just the secondary aspect of the results of our efforts. So I'm definitely 100%. I'm blessed when it comes to that.
I'm
Not that I
not
want her to live like that, but I'm glad she's humbled in her spirit like that.
I'm not materialistic, but
Hold up.
because to me,
She's not materialistic, but we got to get the hair done. We got to get the face did.
I have my
Wax, wax, wax.
I have my maintenance even
Her
before we
maintenance.
met. That's just self-love, self-care, and it's not a
I
bad
do
thing.
self love, and they call the police department on me.
It's a different way of loving yourself.
Oh yeah, everybody goddamn self
But
camera.
even before us, I already have my self-care, and that's just the way you treat yourself. Not all the time, at least once or twice a month. And it's not like it's just me. I bring him with me. I
Oh
do
yeah,
my
I can watch 3 movies waiting on her. I take a nap. I've literally learned to bring my pillow, my blanket, um,
tablet
tablet. Yeah, bring my headset. Yeah,
and wait right outside the door.
yeah. I would like to have a hammock that folds out so I could actually just lay there. But yeah, it takes a minute. Like that last one we went to, she went and got waxed. Dude, it was like changing a tire. I told her, I said, I didn't even get third way through the movie. I said, what happened? Are you okay? Because it was so quick. But yeah,
Nobody was in line. But I'm not materialistic because
oh,
to me, you're not gonna take it to your grave anyway. I'm more on, priceless experiences, um, exploration,
she's got an adventurous spirit.
yeah, adventure, things that you can bury with you.
Only the moments that you shared with each other.
Yeah.
And don't nobody ever. You'll never be able to explain them to them, and that's what I want it to be. I want it to be our world.
And perhaps I view the world like that and life like that because I didn't really have the chance to actually build good memories with my parents.
And being an American, I take it for granted because my whole life has been blessed. Um, Raised in the woods, riverbanks, and all that stuff.
You had everything you wanted in life
But
that
you
you
don't
didn't
know
even
it
know.
because you got
Yeah.
it. You don't appreciate it till you see the way everybody else is living in total poverty and slums and everything else. Now, let me don't get off. She didn't come from a slum, okay? But the rest of the environment here is pretty rough, okay? I'm very blessed with her. I mean,
Luckily, the family that adopted us in Philippine standard, we somehow lived in middle class. We're disciplined how to clothe ourselves depending on the places where we go. We eat, we go to church, we dress appropriately, we behave appropriately, we speak on a level somehow, not
yeah,
just like rattling like in public market. We're disciplined the way I think I view my my adopted parents the way George was somehow disciplined,
yeah.
you know.
And to you Catholics, I have lit my sugar candles now. So don't come at me. Yeah, I've stole some candles from the place because it didn't look like they were using them all, and I brought them home to make my own.
My sister will
But
force us to go to the church, and I don't view that as a bad thing neither. Some people have that level of faith in God, and that's how they've been intact with the family. But as you explore different places, you'll be out of your boxes just the
I'm,
way you've been
I'll be honest. We like to
treated.
go sit in the Catholic Church because it's a temple. You know, they do some interesting designs, and we just sit there and take a rest.
And
Even if I fall asleep sitting in there, nobody bothers us.
it has the aura of just like calming, and
It's a
that's when we
presence.
meditate, you
The
know.
energy in that building, it just lets you know that world is out there, and I'm sitting in here. Whatever that is, I don't have no explanation for it, but I really appreciate it. It just lets me breathe for a second. You know,
Yeah.
so it's something you need here.
But cultural expectations. So I guess to me it's different than the others. Their expectation is my man is gonna treat me to a salon and he's gonna feed my family. We're not like
We
that.
have to negotiate these salon runs out. Okay. This ain't something that I'm sitting there pecking away on my calendar. Alarm goes off.
That's a lot of Americans and Western people that actually tells us that say, I just fed these the family. How many were
Oh
they?
yeah.
And
You'll take the
oh,
whole family under their wing. All I'm telling you, y'all, it's BYOB. Okay. If you didn't bring you no cash, you better get ready to wash some dishes
yeah,
because I'll walk right out the door.
we're
I'm
not
paying
like
for me and her, and that's it.
yeah.
Don't ever delusionize yourself.
Even when my
Okay, if you've
brothers,
done something for me to earn the respect for you, or I've shown you to see that you're trying to better yourself, I'll be more apt to reach out. But don't ever put me where you put me in demanding situation. You'll find yourself hitchhiking down a busy interstate.
women before were lucky because George was still an idiot when he first
Oh yeah,
came back
guard
here.
was down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when my brothers visited when we were in Manila, I never had to ask, babe, can we buy this? Whatever. My brothers took the initiative to go to Robinson's and buy us whatever, and he made us dishes.
Do you know she still asks me, "Hey, is it okay to pay somebody this and that?" You know, I think that's so cute. You know what I mean? But just give them the money. You know what I mean? They need it. You know what I mean? It's not I'm giving away anything. It's out of respect for her, and I do respect her family because she's got some good brothers. And but the whole thing is, she's that's just her way. I wish she didn't feel like she had to ask me every time she got a dollar. The wallet can stay in her pocket. I mean, it's right here, laying around here
Yeah,
somewhere. You
because
know what
all
I
the
mean?
money that we work goes
But
to
she
the
knows we
bank.
work for it. Yeah, so she's been there when we were crawling to get back on our feet, and we can actually go out and wheel and deal and have great times every day, but that's not who I
We
am.
choose to
I'm
not do that.
preparing for us to go home and obviously set ourselves up, get a motor home.
We
We'll
can live as if he's a king,
Yeah,
but we choose to not do that
yeah, because in trucking,
because
freight dispatching, for y'all to know, I make really great money because I don't work for a company. We built our own business. Um, what's the next question, baby?
social media myths versus actual daily life. So social media, that's where I was
Man,
saying
y'all
that
watching that YouTube? Y'all getting so suckered?
even my sisters say going back to how we were, disciplined. I was younger then and probably dumber. I said, look, they look good together. They look fun in the picture, blah, blah, blah. And she said, you don't even know what's behind the picture, what's
Man,
behind the curtain,
you don't think we
what's the
don't get
story.
fights? This little thing, for one, she was taller. She lied to me about her height, right? She was supposed to be 4'7". She turned out to be 4'9". I don't like tall women, okay? But that being said, um, we do have arguments. It's just the way it is. She's in a bad mood. She takes me wrong. Last time, when I'm saying crap, I could care less. Be honest with you, I'm just stirring it up just to stir it up, to poke some life into you. And she's like, "Oh, you drained me," and I'm like, "What the hell? Drained you? Yeah, recharge yourself or something."
You make me feel exhausted.
Yeah, it make me feel exhausted. Well, oh my God, yeah, you look like life has beaten you to death. Does that look like a mistreated, dying face? And this is tired, right? So you can only
When I'm
imagine.
tired, you don't see it in my face as much, but
I
my
hear when she's
brain
in
is
bed,
dead.
she will snore like an animal that's on its final breath after it got hit by a pickup truck.
My brain is dead.
So, but what's the next question, baby?
Social media is a lot more different than it is in real life.
Yeah, Ed. Big Ed.
A lot of people just do that fun part of their lives just
Tell
to
them the
earn
truth.
subscribers and followers. But with George, it don't matter to him.
What the hell do I care? You know?
But
Maybe I
yeah,
was born to live off the land.
don't believe everything you see in the media.
Yeah, that's some
You
funny
don't
stuff.
know,
They spend a lot of energy on that.
you don't know the story behind what's behind the curtain, and you don't know how they're treating each other behind the camera. Long distance challenges.
We haven't experienced that. I do get worried when I'm in the bedroom and she goes to the kitchen because there's knives in the kitchen. But outside that, our long distance relationship, I think we're pretty good. I know she can't get lost. Well, actually, I know she can't find the gate out of here because she stays lost.
He's always, every time I'm not, excuse me, every time I'm not right beside him, he's like sleeping like a rooster. Where's he? Where's she at?
She don't understand. Let me tell you something. She has anxiety and I have PTSD. Woo, boy, that's a good mixture, ain't it? That's some Creole stuff. And that right there has made a mess of both of our lives.
Now,
So
anxiety,
lucky for her, I got the chemical. It's called Xanax. So what I do is we cut it in half,
mine
right?
was even stronger. SRR.
Now she wants to
SRR.
play with the chemicals in her brain.
I
It's
was just gonna say,
serotonin reuptake inhibitors, okay?
my
Maybe y'all
anxiety.
can send her a message about that.
A lot of people will say, I have anxiety. I have anxiety. My anxiety was diagnosed. I even had the medication that he made me stop.
Yeah.
That was like the first almost 1 month that I was taking it. It was working for me, but he made me stop it because of
I ain't letting
the
her take that crap. I was trained in medicine.
side effects.
So what I did is we'd use two. We either use Valium, diazepam, or Xanax. And so we cut it in half. I get the lowest dosage to begin with. And I know you're gonna say, well, that don't do nothing. I don't want it to do nothing. I want just to make the anxiety go away. And getting drugged up ain't does nothing for you. That's stupidity. So what we do is like cut it in half, and then I bite half of it off of it and donate my other half to charity. So she gets that, and it worked pretty good after that. You know what I mean? It doesn't make us messed up. It just makes that anxiety go away.
No, I'm not pro medication or pro medicine. Only that was my
Yeah, she wants SSRIs.
when I was
Yeah.
learning, and the
Get back to the
doctor
United
was,
States. She wants that cannabis.
babe, I'm not an expert,
Yeah, she's gonna be an expert. She better learn how to roll them things.
but since I heard about the SRI or whatever you call that, then I looked it up and I dropped it.
And she's been fine. You know, if it was something I thought she was crazy, she just needs a support system to know that somebody's here for her that cares for her. And she's on my back, you know. We had that ruptured appendix, and Lord, it scared me. I'll be honest with you, it really scared me. I thought I was gonna lose the woman I fell in love with. It upset me. I cried like a baby. But we turned out okay. And she wished she had died on the table, but I'm glad she made it out of there. So, you know. What else we got, baby?
So cross that out. Long distance challenges.
That's all the long distance challenges.
There.
That's there.
I guess I'll pray for you. Communication differences. Americans being more direct. Filipinos being indirect.
Baby, are you okay? Baby, what? Are you okay? Or baby, 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 baby. I was like, okay, you want to play that with me? I'll fix your little ass up. So she wants to dodge the problem instead of just say, I'm okay. I'm just having a moment like a normal person would do. She wants to try to play Miss Introvert. Dude, I've had animals that I killed in the woods and I introverted them too when I skin them out.
Do you really think talking with George will have a happy ending? You may as well just shut your mouth.
I'm pretty happy. Hell, I thought that's what I was looking for. I'm here to be with you, to make you happy. Okay, let's do that one.
Conflict avoidant. I don't think Filipinos are conflict avoidant. They just cannot communicate directly.
Now, she gets in her own fights. Hell, I didn't got where, hey, as long as she's got her boots on, because we got her some cowboy boots, she don't have a cowboy buckle yet. That's pretty up disturbing. But I gave her the redneck girl booty. So yeah, get her home, get her a Stetson cowboy hat. We'll be good to go. I teach her how to shoot some guns. We'll be right on the right path.
Reading between the lines. Filipinos are indirect when it comes to communication. They can't communicate. So you need to be what you call that? The mind reader?
I have the foresight.
No, the mind reader thing. Which
Oh, she wants me to be telepathic.
You need to be
So
telepathic.
I got me some tarot cards, a Ouija board,
I don't
some
think you
white
need him to be
candles,
telepathic for me. He already knows my gestures.
and we're connected. We think of crap like the same, and it scares the F11 hell out of me. I was like, man,
But for other Phil Am or couple, especially when they're just starting in the relationship, one of you has to be telepathic and knows how to read between the gestures or between the lines.
I mean, it's like all the time, I can sit there and be thinking, man, I wish she'd take her clothes off. She comes out and says, you know what? I was just thinking, maybe I should leave my clothes off for you. We're wham, right on the same page. You know what I mean? That's some miracle stuff.
Arguments and conflicts, but
She starts them.
oh my God, I'd rather sleep than have an argument. He likes that.
If there ain't nothing on TV, we got to do something.
He wants me to agree to something that I don't agree with. And I end up just saying, okay, fine, babe.
I don't want it to be fine. Let's hash this out some more.
What else we have?
Hold up. Let me fix it. You know what she done? Give me a second. Okay.
They're going back, I guess.
Which one was it? Hold up. Give me a second. Give me those questions back about an American and a Filipino couple. All right, give me a second. We lost our list of questions. She got to get over here. She thinks see this. This is well her half. Well, this is my half. That's her half. She had to cross over and get in my boundaries. You see what it turns out to be? This
His
is actually
house got some button on the
no,
left.
no, no. It wasn't her button to press. It wasn't even her button to press. All right, let's just pick up here.
Family and relationship expectations.
She ain't got none other than her brother's being up there in Manila, her sister that's a damn ghost down here, and it works out good for me. I don't even have to cross that thing. As far as her, she's met a majority of my family. That's her problem. I've been dealing with it my whole life. I don't want to get in the middle of that one neither. So good luck with that one.
Like one of his brothers required me to call him every Sunday night, my time, because that's the daytime for him.
Yeah, he's in jail, so he wants to be a damn therapist. You know, how many years has he been in jail? And now he all of a sudden he's here to help us. He learned a lot inside there. So, you know,
How
um,
important is family involvement in Filipino relationships? Before, long time ago, that was very important. That family has needs to be or needed to be involved in your relationship. Nowadays,
excuse me.
don't even care now.
It was actually, so y'all will know, it's actually a law here that when your parents get older and you're their children, you're supposed to take care of your parents. That's the reason a lot of people have that misconception. Oh, they're going to make me, we got to send my parents money. It was actually law. Okay, so if they're putting that propaganda you that it's law, then that's where that was fed off of. So just so you know that part.
That I didn't know because I didn't have to support my family. We grew up independent on our own, and our adopted parents are not like, here, send me money. It's like, if you send them money, they're happy about it. If not, they're fine about it too.
How do both cultures view respect toward their parents and the elders? We don't really know all that because we really don't have that much to bounce off of. I just love my parents and the older people in my family because I didn't realize how important they were. Juvenile stupidity. Maybe I didn't have the right mentors, but like my mother, I love her to death, has nothing to do with her being older. It's just I realized how much labor she put into taking care of me and how much I have to actually pass that on to the next generation. But thing is, families are not close no more. The whole system is being broke down because of these telecommunications and all these other aspects. So that's made it a lot different on everybody when it comes to what we're looking at these days. Um, as far as Marie, you want to speak on that one?
Mm,
She does maintain a relationship with her brother, but it was kind of weird that they didn't want to hug each other when they first met and they hadn't seen each other in how many years? It threw me straight the hell off. How long have it been since y'all met?
long time.
No, give me a number.
Years. Um,
Ain't gonna be it.
maybe 4 or 5 years. Maybe.
And I'm not gonna come up and say, "Oh my God, hey brother, what's up? Give me some love." I literally stopped and said, "What the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all haven't seen each other that long, and y'all not hugging each other. You need to figure it out right here, right now, in front of me,
We
because that's family. That's your blood.
our guard is up, we pretend we're strong and we're not vulnerable, we're
Man, I will
numb.
cry wherever it takes. If my emotions are feeling there, I'm there.
That's
You can catch up.
because for us it's like we don't want to be attached. We're attached obviously because we're blood and flesh, but not to the extent that when we meet we're happy, but it won't show because we're like it's our
We could
self
have been at a funeral and had more reaction.
it's our
Okay.
self if our it's our defense mechanism to not be in pain again when we separate, if that makes sense. But
That is the fire of life. You
when
have
we
to
get
walk through it.
when
You'll
we get
appreciate it later in life.
when we get separated, we hug. We say we love each other. You take care,
They
look
did
after
hug
yourself.
when they got ready to leave each other. So I was like, okay, that feels better because I can feel the presence. You know what I mean? For us to have that, as I call it, the Holy Spirit that walks with us, we can feel that. That made me happy.
Yeah, we
I was
literally
happy
grew up
about that.
like we're molded. Nobody molded us, but it's just the situation mold us to be, independently um detached when it comes to emotion or feelings, but when we leave each other, we're separate. We remind each other that, hey, I love you. When you need me or you need somebody to talk to, sister or brother, I'm here, whatever it is, whether it's money. And that was the important part. When we were broke, it was my brothers that was lending us money. So we love each other to that extent, but our defense mechanism is always, intact.
I mean, me and my brothers, we fight every second. We're talking to each other, but I 100% love them, and they know that. I know they love me as well. So, but as far as me being interacting with her family, I really haven't had that opportunity. She's gonna get plenty of that opportunity, and I'm sure she's gonna call the police on some of them. But they're my family, and you're gonna also go with me when it's time to go bail them out of jail too. So when you call the police, don't expect that you're not going with me up there to jail to go get them. What's our next thing? Um, we'll skip that one because we didn't have experience with that. Um, who usually pays for the dates in each culture? Yeah, she does actually, because I don't
He
want to
used,
interact with her
he used
because
to call me, he used to call me sugar mommy.
yeah, she's the one paying for everything. There's the wallet. I pass it to her because I did. Thing is, if there's just too much extra bull crap that gets involved when I end up actually paying for anything, and she protects us. Um, let's see, how do both cultures define commitment? I do what I want, and if she dares tries to leave me, I will handcuff her and take her down to Louisiana swamps and let the alligators and the bugs finish her off.
I'm easy.
She is. She's a sweetheart. She really is a sweetheart. I'm so blessed. I'm glad. It's been a hard road for me to find somebody to be with me, and I don't know about her personal relationship. It's like pulling the damn tick off a dog's ass. It's an uphill battle. You got to hold her down by the head, grab all four legs, and everything.
I barely talks. I just don't talk because, in the house, it was like the right to speak.
But she'll sing.
In our household, we didn't really have the right to speak for ourselves. We were trained that way. You look at their eyes of your elderly or your sister or your mother, it's like disrespectful. For George or for Western world, it's the opposite. That's why sometimes look me in the eye, and
Oh
I
yeah, once you
couldn't
look me
even
in the
look
eye,
me.
it's gonna come out your mouth. Stand up to it.
I couldn't look in the eye because that's how we're not molded
Then
that
how can I
way,
trust
you
you?
know. But there are differences. To us, it's the opposite.
Yeah, it really is. I had to get used to it, but thing is, she's got stronger because I was like, we're gonna have a hard time if you don't look at these people in the eyes. Um, what daily habits took the most adjustment? I got a pretty damn long list on that one. Just give them the number one.
Work.
She was lazy.
I'm not lazy. I'm just used and molded to 9 to 5, like the rest of
She
the
thinks she's Dolly
population.
Parton. American 95. What a way to
That
make a
is before
living.
when we were just beginners, and he trained me to.
I was like, no, baby. Cocaine, baby.
And then
That'll
I
keep you up all night.
realized that nobody will do it better than you do or yourself. That
Yeah.
work, the job will not get done until you actually get it done.
But she really has. We've had some hard nights. We've I've tried to quit pushing her on the nights. Even I've had to stop doing it. It was really beating us up really bad, but we didn't have no choice. It was me and her against the world, and
Yeah.
we pushed through and it got it. If that's what made us bond, woo! It was some crazy glue. It definitely did it to us.
That is,
Spending all night in cafes working.
whether
And
you like it or not, whether you're sick, you're
yeah,
exhausted, we literally sleep just
we didn't
because
even
we
have
had to.
money to count up to get us to the damn cafe. I was like, well, we get there. We might be walking all the way back with computers on our
We
back.
did. Sometimes I'll have to fit the coins, say, babe, we can get
I
the
was like, baby,
jeepney
count up
from
the
here
coins.
to there,
Or we can
and
eat.
then from there we'll have to walk so we can get another bus or whatever in that
We would
destination.
literally sleep in the parks, out in front of Starbucks or anywhere else, laying on the grass. We finally started taking a lightweight blanket with us. She would feed me oatmeal in a hot bowl, get hot water out of 7-Eleven, put that in there, and
So when Americans cry that they're broke, you've never been there.
oh no,
I know George did because
oh
I
no,
was the one that
man,
was the foundation.
that tore me down. I never had ever experienced that before. And the thing is, but ooh, I'm grateful. I found out who my real friends were. I'm so grateful for that. And that had to be what it is. And I found out I don't have none. I really don't. They are self absorbed, and that sucks for them. And this was my blessing. I don't hold it against them, but I just assume be myself and not have to, to cater to their particular feelings because their life's their life. And I know I will see them in eternity. But that being said, I don't feel like I need to actually give any more of my time to them because I don't know how to put it where it doesn't sound bad either which way. There's no win-win in that situation
There's
for
a
me.
difference when you somehow got used to the word friendship. Like, I don't really have real friends where, to the extent when I need them financially or emotionally, they're available. There was nobody there than my brothers. So, whether my youngest brother almost went to jail, I had to bail him out,
Yeah.
not because you get upset or hate any situations that you've been through. I have friends, okay? I have, but not a lot. And that's fine. But it's still different when you're in that really deeply bad situation.
Even people that I believed in, I'm like, okay, I've worked with them. They know my work ethic and everything. You get to see what they really are. And we did get to experience that. Let's see. I think we can find something else. Long distance immigration. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more, and we're gonna call it because we this gives you a big insight about what you're looking at. The one that we're facing now is immigration. We're now at the point where you know we're making money, but we're not making as much as we were because what happened when we first started
Oh
doing
my
what
God.
we're teaching people, we actually got better at it, and I got better at teaching. And that being said, actually, that's what has happened is we've seen that people are not that engaged. They really want us to lie to them, tell them there's a quick fix, and that's just not who I am to begin with. And as I got stronger in what I actually do, which I'd already been doing for almost 30 years, that they don't appreciate, okay, well, this is the real deal, but I'm going to actually have to work for it. And that's what sucks. And it's actually hurt us. And I don't want to lie to them. And Maria says, well, let's go back to the other way we used to do it. But I know how gapped out the information was, even though we give them everything. We don't nickel and dime people or nothing. This is what we charge. This is what we can actually get you where you're doing. And they don't appreciate that truthfulness. So that being that situation, we're looking at a point now where should I go ahead and come on home and start working? Go back into logistics. I mean, not go back in logistics, like go back to doing something back in the States. And while she's still finishing up, but our connection's so strong, I'm just going to have to take the risk and just stand my ground and stand beside her because we're each other's support.
I think George would have not been in that situation before we met if the person he was with was not just up for the bucks, you know.
And the only blessing I had out of all that was because I was able to prove it. We actually had videos and everything. And if I hadn't been able to prove that, then what would she have thought I was saying? Well, was I a compulsive liar? Was I trying to manipulate the storyline to fit my needs? And that was another blessing. I've been blessed since I've been here. Don't get me, it's in the weirdest ways, but it helped my integrity and the truthfulness about what my intentions were and the path that I was living to be able to be show the light to her. I mean, if I can't show it to her, the rest of the world I could care less. But that's been a blessing in itself. And she looks at it, and she let me know her.
I already believed him because I already know a lot of foreigners end up as a beggar on the street because they found good ladies that
We
are up
hear
for
the
the
stories
kid,
all
you know.
of the time.
But
Even people coming to us that want us to teach them how we do what we do, even from them.
and you can tell when they're with their spouse, you can tell if their spouse are actually committed to them
Some of
or
them are
not.
married, and them girls are not even into them. That's not. They got the bad ruling on what they think a relationship is. I feel bad for them. It's gonna come back to bite them. You know, uh, just bad luck for them. But we're very blessed with each other. But right now, we're just waiting on this finalized portion of the visa, and off we'll be back to the house. And the whole thing is, we want everybody to know that Truck Driver Nation, we're going to be out there at the truck stops talking to owner operators and everything that need freight dispatch on really how it's really done. So that being good. Now, financial expectations, me and her, we're peas in a pod when it comes to riding the weather and adjusting our quality of life according to
Finances.
the given situation. I used to not be like that. I
One
didn't.
has to be proactive to budgeting. Otherwise, he'll end up being broke.
Yeah,
Because
I only buy
however,
stuff. I buy stuff that I feel like I absolutely she agrees with me that we need. That's going to build us. Um,
however millionaire you are, if you're both one day millionaire spender, money won't stretch. You know, you have to weigh the needs and the wants.
Financial expectations. She has complete clarity on where our finances are, but we still got to get her credit line everything up once we get home. Still got some unknowns, but we've studied up on it and we know what's expected. And right now we have pocket pit bulls, and we don't even know how we're going to get those guys home. We got 3 females and a male, and they're registered. They come from bloodlines, high dollar bloodlines, champion bloodlines. We got the paperwork on had every shot since the time they were puppies, and we don't know how to get them home. Big problem.
Financially, we can just the airline, most of them restricts the type of dogs we have because they're naturally looking aggressive and they don't even know their nature when it comes to
Them dogs ain't aggressive.
how
Them dogs are looking for the next meal time.
how clingy they are. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we at?
Social media and public. You know what?
Oh,
Go ahead.
financial expectation. I want to cover this. How do both cultures view sharing finances? Filipinos, unfortunately, I just happen to, I don't love finances, but I came from a family where we're trained to, again, weigh the needs and the wants. But majority of the Filipinos always anticipate or expect you to pay for them. Okay. So if you're a Western that's willing to spend for the family of that lady, be it as it may. But for us,
She learned when we first met, and I give her that little signal that she knows I don't have enough money to cover it. And our code word is run, motherfucker, run. She gets it that I don't have enough money in our wallet. So the first one out the door is a good chance is going to be the one that gets away. Don't snitch on the other one. So we've definitely understood each other when it comes to this.
I was I already know what George's status was when we were just starting.
No, I didn't hide it neither. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
broke as hell. I don't even know what I'm doing.
I have been handling the finances since then. So, and there's no shame of us knowing where we're at. If we have to drop something to adjust the finances, you have to be mature enough how to handle the finances. Again, otherwise, if you're both one day millionaire spender, you'll still end up being broke, you know. Um, was there pressure to support extended family? Was there, George?
Outside these dogs.
Even our dogs get more maintenance than we do.
Now, hold up. She's the one that does all that. I come from the country, the strongest survive, but we take them to the hospital, all that good stuff to the veterinary clinic.
All our animals are well fed and healthy. Even just today, we set the chickens free,
Yeah,
and
we cut the chickens loose.
the neighbors said, because we get burned out taking care of them, but they really are healthy. Even the neighbor said, "Oh my God, they are so healthy." He felt the tummy and the chest. I said, "Yeah, they're fed twice a day, like literally twice a day. Whether George's sick or not, they're fed."
Mhm.
You know,
I was raised on a farm. Them animals can't take care of themselves. There ain't no off days. That was my daddy's motto. You are responsible for them. You want to take them under your wing and you want to take care of them. That's your
yours.
responsibility.
Yep.
Don't give them, if I ever see a mistreated animal that's in your care, you better hope I don't decide to mistreat you the way that animal's been mistreated.
Even when we leave, we go to Manila or outside the Philippines,
Had to buy
we pay
babysitters.
we pay nannies just to feed them twice a day. Make sure there's always water in the bowl and we have camera to actually watch them, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so extended family financially, George don't have that responsibility. Even if they visit us, they have their own money to buy whatever food for that
They're Americans.
time, you know. But if my brother visits here, open the fridge, there's food in there, you know. How do you discuss?
And you'd be surprised how much food you waste as an American.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll eat it. It wasn't that it was contaminated, don't get me wrong, but I don't really eat leftovers. So that being said, he didn't give a shit. He'd kill whatever's in there. And that was good. He's young, he's like a horse. But
And
yeah,
we didn't really have leftovers then there because the malls were closed. We stayed in a condo where the mall was literally downstairs.
it was literally right downstairs. That's the worst damn thing you can do in an American is
Yeah.
make it within a matter of rooms. Okay.
The milk he brought home was not even open. Like it was just for
Yeah,
convenience.
we gave
You got
we
sick,
went to the grocery store that was going to be all conservative, and
then he got
all we
sick.
got was high blood pressure. Well, we had all that shit food, but yeah,
Now we bought that ourselves, but we ended up giving it to them because we had to come back to here to Cebu. How do you discuss budgeting and future plans, George? George is always up for the future as an American.
strategy wise, we're in good shape. We've got a lot of opportunities. Her skill set's up there where it's absolutely 100% marketable. Um, Mine's not a question of am I marketable. It's a matter of who's going to try to tear me down. Because when you offer your services, they're trying to put you in a minimalistic atmosphere because them and the good old boys that surround their little up in a little niche have to get into it. So I'm like this. I'm not here to talk to your peons. If you want me to work for you, you need some problems that need to be resolved. Tell me what they are, and I'm going to resolve them. I don't know everybody's personality in any given organization, but I do know what's correct and how things need to be functioning. And if I can't get them trained up with the most minimalistic point of view, then we'll absolutely have to bring somebody in that can fill that gap. And that person's going to have to go. Unless they show the initiative that they're willing to eat the damn gravel out of the driveway and get the job handled, they're not a fit. You're paying me to make something happen. And it takes time to make happen, but also there's got to be a cutoff on how much time you're going to give me to happen. And I'm not taking no prisoners. So that being said, as far as what I see as financially in the future, being back in the United States, based the overall economic situation, who gives a crap about the political thing? In logistics, money's money. It's recession proof. It's not inflation proof. But I know the industry, and literally based on what we're doing, I could literally make three incomes even being on a truck because she is awesome. Okay. And that is a blessing to her and it's a blessing to me. And so, yeah, I've been very blessed in that way. I'm so excited to get back to the United States. There's so many windows open to her that she don't even realize, but she learned the right things. She doesn't know freight dispatching 100%, but there's something I'm definitely going to shove it down her throat, but I don't want to overwhelm her because it's hard to dispatch when you're 13 hours ahead of the central time zone. So that means she'd have to work all night. I'm just not going to do that to her.
You can only pull it down when you're exhausted.
Yeah, when we get home, we'll get used, be like on a little vacation, right? We get the motor home. make sure that we have office space inside the motorhome, get everything set up what during this vacation time, and then be ready up to go, whether we're going to the carriers or we're going to the truck stops. Logistics is my home. That's my career. We're gonna make the deal where we're actually going to truck stop, as well as enjoying the views, the everything that the United States has to offer. So
So we discussed budgeting and future plans, but financially here, majority I run the finances because of the prices we have here, the
she knows the
engagement.
culture. She knows what
Yeah.
everything should cost.
But future plans that goes to George because obviously he is a citizen of that country. He knows how to run the world in there
I'm a
versus
teacher
here.
about coupons, places to buy stuff cheap.
And I don't have problem with that. To me, again, you're not gonna take those materials to your grave as long as it works. What's the difference of
You
how
know what the
they
difference between me,
and
this
fun?
watch is $300, and a watch that is somewhere over $100,000 that I know who wears them in the United States? I still have the other hundred something $1,000. Okay, that watch does all I need it to do. Okay, and if I drop this in a river, yeah, it's gonna still go. Oh my God, there goes $300. The damn catfish, you got it now. But I don't have to sit there having to worry about trying to get somebody out there and worry about an insurance claim and explain where the product is at. So you want to live like that? More power to you. You obviously there must be somebody that you really want to impress. Okay, all I want to do is finish this cycle of whatever this program is, this classroom of life, and leave it with a clear conscience, knowing that the person that stood beside me, that God gave me responsibility for, that I did absolutely my best. And not that I want her to sit there and cry and end her life, but I want her to appreciate that what I left to her, she can share, because I have one son that she can share with my son that, you know what, you had a good dad. And I was, delegated to make sure you're taken care of. And she does that because she has enough respect for me, that type of deal. But that being said, that's how I feel about that.
George proposed the future plans before he actually take action. Like, look, this babe, what do you think about this? You have any opinion? Whatever. To me, we got roof, we got walls, we got hot water, we got aircon, we got food, clothes. I'm
How
done.
simplistic is that? That ain't American mentality. American mentality is I want to own the whole damn block. I want to start taking over this part of the city. You
You're
know,
not taking that to your grave. You're
you
just
know,
wasting your effort.
you're
You're
wasting
just
your energy,
you're
you're
just
wasting stress.
like I want this money, money, money for this. I mean,
And
money is power,
it sucks.
right? But after all, you're not taking it to your grave. You're financially stable, that's good. But
Yeah.
you don't need to have everything on earth.
Everybody wants to try to get the money out of your pocket the whole time. And it's just
Social
bullcrap.
media and public perception.
When I get back to the United States, I'm gonna actually she's gonna feel it too. Because people are gonna give us the age thing, the culture thing, all that. I'm 55, she's 29. So, you know, um, you know, kiss my mama's black cat's ass. That's all I'm gonna be able to tell them. So I'm just going to roll with it as it goes. Don't push me too far. I am a gun carrying citizen of the United States. Don't put me in a bad position. Don't threaten my life, and don't ever threaten her. Outside that, live and let live.
Social media, people are born to judge, whether they're happy for you, that's good. If not, I don't really have the time to dig deeper into that. Public perception, people, again, it's the same. We're born to judge. I just don't, but to me, how you see or view other people is a reflection of yourself. If you're not happy about them individual, that only shows you're not happy about yourself. Because why would you view other people that way when, you're full of positivity, you're optimistic and all that, and you see other people the opposite way? So,
The human condition is that's their problem.
yeah.
Okay. And I'm not here to make a judgment call on people. I've got one creator, and I'm accountable to him. And all the polluted translations and interpretations and visual descriptions and propaganda that have been presented to us. And my job is not to look to the left or the right, but to focus on this one thing. This is my life companion. For whatever reason, I have no idea why I couldn't do the other ones. I wasn't mature enough. I don't know what the deal was with me. Maybe I was just 100% dysfunctional, but I've been blessed. And I'm not going to let this opportunity go to waste because of past history or things. I've made a lot of mistakes in this life, but I pray for everybody that I've ever put in a bad situation, something that they felt like they were done wrong by or anything like that. I cannot change it. But what I can change is from this moment moving forward. And that's my overall goal. Um, Outside that, if Maria decides that she doesn't want to be my companion in life, I wish her the absolute best in her life. But
and
she better run like hell.
and prepare for your what? Prepare for your burial.
Yeah, because yeah,
But no,
I love her to death.
when we go to church, we don't just pray for ourselves. We pray for
Yeah.
people that are haters. We pray to heal their
Oh
hearts,
my gosh, haters. Oh
put
my gosh,
themselves at
dude.
ease.
Since we run a business and it's all virtual social media, man, we get people. Woof, woof. Dude, I'm not even gonna. She just stirred it up. She knows what she said when she said that.
But we
Man,
pray
them
for
people
them
hate us. We don't even know who the hell they are. That's what's even funnier. But yeah,
because again, the way I see people that does that is that they're not happy about themselves.
no.
And it's their job to, make them lives better.
Agonize.
Yeah.
There's your new word for the
They're
day, baby.
vindictive for nothingness,
Yeah, like Jesus, big words.
It's yeah, we can only pray for them. I
Yeah.
pray for you.
Yeah, I hope you find some kind of happiness in life. Don't let this time pass by. Time is your enemy. You've only got a certain amount. Please don't play with it. Try to utilize it. Don't lay in a bed with a mouthful of regrets, being messed up on morphine because you got cancer or whatever. Live today like this is your last day. Okay. What
Moving
else we
forward,
got?
we have
Let's
what may
no, let's go on down to the final end because
oh my God,
this is really long.
now just like it.
Okay, here's fun, lighthearted questions. That might be us. What have we got? Who adjusted better to the culture? I ain't giving up, man. I'm from the United States of privileged white America, right? But that being said, a lot of things they don't understand about us.
It's me.
Man,
He ain't adjusted to anything.
but that being said, a lot of people understand where I come from. They look at racism and all that stuff. And let me tell you, racism is just as bad in these other countries. I just don't partake in it because it's never gave me any gain. Okay. I've seen people fight about it, hate each other. Man, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? But that being said, I can't reinvent myself as an American and make myself into something else. They see me coming. Okay. But that being said, adjusting her culture, it's not because I hate it. It's because it's so vindictive.
And I can really tell, I can see myself why there's no need for him to adjust. First, he's not really looking at living here. He's here for a reason, not for permanently staying or living here. It don't really benefit us financially. One time there was a guy, why don't you teach him to speak our language? There's really no money here and doesn't really benefit us for me to waste the time
Spanish.
to explain it to him. This is how you say it, whatever. It doesn't benefit us financially.
Even she's been learning Spanish. We haven't been taking it serious because we've been so busy, but Spanish.
Even before we met, I was learning Spanish because the paycheck when working in call center was double of how much I was paying versus the American dollar. Because we were if you're multilingual, you learn Spanish, you're like translator to Spanish, you get paid better. So if you view it, it doesn't really help you financially. If you're staying here, sure, learn it.
What Filipino or American food did your partner struggle with? Mine was water.
He struggled with all our foods here, except just the lumpia and empanada.
Eating with rats? Oh my gosh. Let me tell you about that. When you got to cook, and we'll go over this, we always mention this one. When the lady cooking is giving the rat a verbal warning, you need to move. I'm going to accidentally spill this grease on you. That is a damn
Rat.
feral rat.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay. I was like, is she talking to me or what the hell? You know what I mean? And you got rats running on the thing behind your wall. I was like, man, I was so hungry. your stupidity kicks in. I ate that food. I was like, man, and we never really went there ever again. I don't think we ever did we?
No, we did that once, and he didn't want to come back anymore.
No, I
We were
passed.
forced to eat because we were starving that time, and she was already cooking the meal.
Yeah, I thought, okay, fresh food.
Yeah.
What was yours on the American side? Which food that you have so far you've had a problem with?
Eating in Texas and Chili's, I don't really have one. And the way he cooks really good.
She liked that tomato gravy and redneck biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Put that Southern love on her. I just ain't got no sweet tea for her. That's the problem. Wait till I get her home for fried catfish, French fries, and hush puppies. Bam! She gonna probably get pregnant the next day to make sure she don't lose that opportunity. What funny misunderstandings have happened?
When he farts.
Oh no, she did that. Let me tell you something. Hell exists. She opens the gates of
That's
hell,
funny, but that's
and I can
misunderstanding.
feel the spirit move across the room. And when it hits me all the way down to my very bottom of my thoracic cavity, I feel the oxygen just get sucked out my mouth.
When he
She
farts.
stinks so bad. Dude, it literally made a filling in my mouth fall out. Take it for what it is. Just take it for what it is. Oh my God.
So that's a funny misunderstanding that
No, it ain't no
happens.
misunderstanding.
It,
That's an act of violence. That's domestic violence.
the question says have happened. It happens.
It happens. It's a continued process. And I'm so embarrassed and ashamed of myself. I'm scared to even mention it to the doctor.
Buwang. Which culture is more romantic? That phase, it's not about the culture.
No, it's about, baby, I'm going to quit using duct tape. You can now move your
He's
hands.
not romantic neither.
Now, our love for each other comes because of the walk of life we've having with each other.
Yeah.
And that I believe in
I
itself.
think, yeah, I think being romantic varies. It's not about the culture, it's about that individual's walk of life. To me, I'm not romantic because my guard is always up. I always have defense mechanism. We all have about our siblings. With George, it don't exist.
No, life took that from me. Somewhere I lost it, and I hate it that that's lost. And the thing is, if you want somebody that is loyal, I'm her pit bull, and I will absolutely be loyal.
Oh,
I'll be a
he's my
guard,
pit bull, all right.
so I love her. So it may take my last breath out of my body, but you're gonna whether you know kill me or whatever, you're gonna remember for sure as hell that I was there. So, but anyways, what traditions from each culture do you want to pass on to future children? That's a hard question. Mine's gonna be that all you gotta do is make a phone call, and the bail bondsman will come get you out of jail for the United States.
I hope not. Oh my God, Lord.
I'm not sure what would be yours.
To me, um, kindness, because this is like fun, lighthearted questions. But on a serious note, to me, I'd like to pass that on to our future kids if we ever have one.
She's a sweetheart.
Kindness, try to always be kind because that's priceless.
Remember, when you're with somebody, you do forget because you start taking them for granted. You got to stop sometimes for a second and look around and remember what you're dealing with. And she does all this crying around police officers, people at the church, and they all look at me, and I'm going, "Hey, did I forget my shirt that says I don't give a shit?" You know what I mean? And the thing is, I got to have it in four different languages: English, Bisaya, Tagalog, and Cebuana.
But
So,
yeah,
so yeah,
kindness, sympathy, because it barely exists now. Um,
it's a pretty harsh environment. I'll be honest with you.
yeah,
World feels
it
poison to me. 8 billion people. Too many people. That's too many cows per acre of land. And it is definitely falling down. It ain't a prediction. Okay. It's not, it's 100% falling. It's 100% falling. I will bet my salvation on it. Okay. It is 100% falling. And that's what this generation gets to look for. I'm sorry you missed the time that I was being raised, and my elders had told me that I missed a better time than them. But I'm telling you, it's fallen. And when you can't feed the cattle, you can't water the cattle, it's mass carnage, disease, dysfunction, failure of services, all of it. I'm sorry that for those people that don't understand that, that's it's no way to turn it around at this given point. Um, Unless they do something behind our backs where it makes people not being able to reproduce. That's a fact. But during this time, I have her by my side. I'm going to enjoy it and be grateful, make sure my knee stays bowed, my heart stays bowed, humility maintains in my heart, and that I don't let the world, that she keeps me in check to make sure that I don't allow this place to take my soul. And, and I pray the same thing for her. We pray all the time together. Probably some of the most, I don't know, whatever, but all I don't do Hail Mary. They do it all the time in the grocery store. Hail, Hail Mother Mary or something,
Every
full of
16.
grace. Thank you for the shopping discount on aisle 8, something like that.
I
But
think this is to pass on. I don't think it's about the culture and tradition now. I think that don't exist in the Philippines anymore, really. That's seriously.
when I came back here in 1991, it was totally different.
The generation today has totally changed. I'm glad, makes me cry. I'm glad we've been adopted by good people, or when we were kids, we see that as negative because we're stupid, we're kids. But now that we've grown, we've always been thankful that, we've been adopted by those kind of people that they've really kept us in check. Even the kids that are younger than me, got pregnant early. That's their life, but they still they're still back to their parents. It's their story they've lived, but now it just got worse. So I don't think it's a tradition or still a culture to pass on. I think it's more on the character and the choice. And I hope the kids or our kids will choose to be kind, to be to have the sympathy still, and
Ain't that a sweet
always
way of thinking about it?
always pray, because temptation will always try to snatch your faith, and don't let the situation drag you into something you're not. Anyway, that's it for me.
See, I lucked up. From my point of view, you got to be a dad. You got to kick them in the ass.
Yeah, that's tough. I always tell
Oh, it ain't
him.
tough.
I
Oh
always
no.
tell him.
I was trained from level 1. When you wake up, hey son, you okay? You know what I mean?
We were
When your daddy lays your ass out
we were
and you figure out what you should have been doing.
My sister will literally kick us when it's already late.
Yeah.
My sister sleeps like a oil, but when we have schedule like school, hey, it's late now. She'll really kick us, and we'll still sleep. We'll still be sleeping, but we ain't got no choice. That's why some people, like our landlord, would say, Now I know why you work with George, because we're a product of hard working somehow." George, I'm sure, worked way more than we did, but we grew up that somehow the way he grew up to,
My life
working
may have
hard.
been hard, but I was a country boy. And being said, those animals were dependent on us. My dad, it wasn't, there ain't no damn democracy, okay? You did it or you would suffer the consequences. But thing is, those characteristics made me push harder, but I was still shortcoming. I was young and dumb. Those factors, I don't blame my family, but I felt like I missed a lot in those different regions. But I had great mentors in my life, great people that were put in my life by a creator that actually gave me some of the ethics and morality and stuff that really helped me learn. A lot of people I surrounded myself were no good, and I probably was no good for them. So it's not a one-way street. But that being said, I'm grateful for where I'm at now. It only gives me the expectation and the desire and the ambition to see what's around the next bend as I'm standing here learning what I'm learning now. So I hope you get to that point. But as far as that, our conversation, what is it like to get one of these? You know what I mean?
It varies
From another country.
all the same.
I,
It's not about being Filipino now.
no,
It's about how you've been molded by your parents, if your parents actually were parents, because now parents, it's not the same parents as they were. It's not the same as George's parents, where they're forced to work. It's not the same. adopted parents that we had where we're forced to work because they were not our real parents, um, it's totally different. So you have to give it the time. If you think that's a good person for you still have to give it the time.
She's all right.
Right. But I said, if we ever have a kid, he will have to be the daddy. I can't beat
If we
my
have a
kid.
kid, I'm moving to a non-extradition country.
I can't I can't be, I'm not a good
It's not that you want to
model
be
to
like that. If you
discipline a
don't,
kid.
you're not breaking their spirit. You're breaking the propaganda that poisons them, that draws them into this world. The world makes victims of people every single day.
The only thing I want is if we ever have one kid, is to keep them away from people because people
I
is the
don't know what to do
poison.
about that.
People will poison just the way it is now. The media poisons the kids, the media poisons the parents, hence the kids grow up like that
Yeah. I would say
and becomes the
that the
world just
creator comes
becomes
back.
crazy.
We're broken. That's the fact.
I
But that being said, I'm going to kind of bring it to an end because we're
know.
rambling on. But that being said, we actually appreciate each other. We love each other. We're grateful for each other. We pray with each other, and we have expectations, hopes, and desires, not just based on our own needs and wants, but for each other as well. So if you can find those baseline rules, you can find somebody if you're here looking. Um, somebody, I hope you do find that person that changes your life. But do everything with a level of precaution and suspiciousness, and keep your head on a swivel type of deal for those red flags. Red flags are there. If you see enough, walk away from the given situation.
If you see your woman wanting to spend your money for the whole family,
It's all about the money here.
I think you have to stop it because
Yeah.
you're training them to be that way. And you don't even notice you're already financing the whole family
She's saying more about that, so I don't really push on that.
because
I
you
know
trained
we've
them.
been with each other 3 years, so she knows the limitations, and we have the same goals because we discuss everything. When I'm looking at stuff, looking at motorhomes, looking at land, everything back in the United States, I've got her right there with me. What do you think about this? Her eyes don't see what I see yet because she don't have the eyes that you build because of the environment you were raised in. But I'm setting it up so that when I'm gone, she's protected. She's still got to learn things about finances and about the United States system and all that good stuff, but we're going to be okay. So that being said,
I think if we've been okay here, I think we'll be better there.
oh yeah, we just still got to limit. So some of the same strategies we developed here, we still need, I believe, maintain for a while back in the United States. But anyways, we appreciate your time, baby. Give them the advertisement.
I'm the ad
Spokesman,
spokesperson.
spokeswoman.
So visit the website truckdrivernation.com.
There is a QR code that you can
Oh,
actually see uh, over there,
there.
right? So you can actually, yeah, there. So you can actually go in there. It'll be on the front of that page on the website. Go to Truck Driver Nation. Go ahead. Sorry.
You can send us an email to support@truckdrivernation.com. We have WhatsApp +63 as the Philippines country code 962-110-4622. Our Telegram QR code is already in the website.
We're at
I'm not sure
on the
where.
home page.
At the homepage,
Just scroll down.
scroll
It
down.
has Telegram, WhatsApp.
It's labeled as WhatsApp, Telegram, and what?
If you really want to get a hold of us, hit that Telegram one, and it'll actually come directly to us. So now you have direct communication with us. The phone numbers, because we get over 1,000 people a day that are actually trying to interact with us for jobs, want to become work at home freight dispatchers and all that, it's not necessarily the best way. Now, obviously, if you want to be on a Wednesday webinar, just send in your email to that given phone number, the 815 number, and then obviously we'll actually see that, and the girls will put you on the roster for the following weeks or that week if it's early enough for that webinar. They will send out emails and everything to you. It's a funnel system to keep you updated and engaged to understand how we can assist you. But that being said, that's probably all I got.
Yeah, if you think it's totally emergency, like 911 emergency, go to Telegram. But if it's just, hey, I want to know more about this, just go to the phone number because we go through them for the Wednesday webinar. So visit our website and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.